sugar, spice, and everything nice. These were the ingredients chosen to create the perfect little girl. But Professor Utonium accidentally added an extra ingredient to the concoction, Chemical X. Thus, the Powerpuff Girls were born! Using their ultra superpowers, Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup have dedicated their lives to fighting crime and the forces of evil!
Hello mga kahalbaks!
For today's experiment, we're conducting the compression test of CHB with
4 inches
and
6 inches. For our materials used in this experiment, we are going to be using 2 concrete hollow blocks, one that is 6 inches and one that is 4 inches. We are also going to use a brush for cleaning off the concrete hollow block. We also are using a metal meter stick and a vernier caliper and also flathead. For our lab equipment, we are going to be using a weighing scale and also the compression test machine.
So now, for proceeding with the data analysis, gather and carefully examine the sample and ensure the scattered parts are removed using a wire brush.
Next, we're going to weigh the concrete hollow blocks, which is the 6 inches and the 4 inches. But first, let's weigh the 6 inches. So, it's 9.52 kilograms. Next is the 4 inches hollow block. The 4 inches hollow block weighs 6.40 kilograms.
now we're going to measure the CHB length, width, and height using the meter analysis. So now we will have first the 4 inches CHB, and we're going to make sure that when you are measuring the width and height, make sure that it is measured in the middle portion of the CHB. So for the length of the 4 inches, we have 39. Width 8.5. And for the height, 17.7.8.
Step, we're going to measure the shell and web thickness of each of these concrete hollow blocks. So first, we'll measure the 6 inches. Next, we're going to measure 4 inches.
So now we are clean flattens, bearing plates, and test specimens. Then align mass centrifugal axis with the machine's stress center. Always ask for the technician lab assistant.
So now we are going to test the concrete hollow blocks in the compression testing machine. When we are going to put the concrete hollow block, we have to take note that we have to put the central mass axis in the testing machine, or in other words, we have to put it in the middle or the center of the concrete hollow block. You also have to take note that the core of the hollow block should be facing in a vertical direction and not in a horizontal direction. So let's go. Let's go for this test first the 4-inch concrete hollow block. Now that we've finished testing the 4-inch concrete hollow block, we are going to take it out and put the 6 inches next. We'll clean this first. Lastly, we are going to test the 6 inches concrete hollow block. Sir Carl is breaking. The experiment aimed to determine the compressive strength of concrete hollow blocks and whether the samples achieved the standards set by the ASTM. During the compression test of the concrete hollow blocks, the 4-inch broke completely after around 31 seconds, while the 6-inch broke completely at 40 seconds. Both blocks broke in a similar manner, with cracks appearing first before progressively fracturing into smaller pieces, and finally shattering completely. Although it demonstrated some ductility, where there is gradual break and not an instant break, there was no significant resistance to compression force. As a result, the sample's compressive strength is not particularly great. The 4-inch concrete hollow block only had a compressive strength of 0.70 megapascals, and the 6-inch concrete hollow block had a compressive strength of 0.61 megapascals. In conclusion, our 4-inch and 6-inch block samples did not fulfill the ASTM standards, which need a minimum compressive strength of 12.4 megapascals for load-bearing units and 3.45 megapascals for non-load-bearing units, making them unsuitable for use in construction. Additionally, the unexpected result of the 4-inch block having a higher compressive strength than the 6-inch block further proves that the samples did not meet physical standards. Furthermore, the significant difference between experimental and theoretical compressive strength raises questions regarding the accuracy of net area calculations. This, however, could be due to the samples not precisely matching ASTM requirements.